Welcome back to the Plays with Cars YouTube channel and another episode of Garage Rehab. Today we are filling out the danger box some more with goodies from the Portland swap meet, which you can see on our field trip episode from the other day. Didn't get much in the way of car parts, but I did get some cool tools that I've been needing and wanting, or didn't even know that I needed or wanted. The first is this eraser thing. It's a gigantic eraser, and you can put it in a Dremel or a drill, and you use it to get like pinstripes off of cars or other decal residue. They actually come in super handy. I had one for, I don't know, probably a good 15 years, and it finally, like this little line right here is the wear down line, like it wears down all the way to there. And when it gets to there, you're supposed to throw it out, and I had thrown it out and didn't have another one, and now I got one. Let's see, I also got a thing of fuses, because it's running low. And some butt connectors, and some butt connectors of the other size. We got some stereos to put in. Got a thing of acid brushes, because they're really useful for all sorts of things. You can never have too many acid brushes. Got a buffing wheel, and actually I got two of them. I got this one, which is like a like compacted cotton, like it's really stiff. You can see there's not a lot of area inside it. And then this one is really soft, like you can see all the little individual layers of fiber. So these are actually for the Miniatures Mondays stuff, for detailing like die-cast cars, Hot Wheels and stuff. After you paint them, you can buff them and polish them. This one I'll probably use more for the die-cast because it's harder and you can really bear down on the metal. This one might actually end up being used for the scale models. I'm hoping that it's soft enough that it wouldn't harm plastic if I use it at a slower speed on my Dremel. My Dremel is a variable speed, so I can crank the speed all the way down on this and go real soft, and it might be able to really buff out some model car paint jobs. We'll see. I'm excited to try that one. In the additional brushes category, I picked up some more brushes, 3 brass and 1 steel for the brush drawer, because I noticed my brass ones were all bad. And then, let's see, this is the only actual tool we got there, which is metric flare nut wrench set. If you remember from outfitting the box, let me see if I can remember. Yeah, nope, that one's the metric drawer. Standard drawer. Here in the standard drawer, I've had a set of standard flare nut wrenches forever, from back when I restored my AMC Javelin. And even before that, I think I actually got these with the Green Hornet. But anyways, I've used those a lot on the old American cars I've restored, but I don't have a metric set. And I'm getting to where I'm actually needing to use them on metric cars, so I picked up this set here, which has 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way to 18. So 9 to 18 1mm steps, so that should cover just about everything. These are really cool if you've never used these before. If you have like a metal brake line, okay, and it's got the flare nut is captured on the brake line, right, like it doesn't come off. You can't put a boxing wrench on it, and an open-end one tends to strip it out. So there's just enough room in this box head, basically, to slip it over the line, and then you go down over the top of the flare nut and use it like a box-end style. So you're actually engaging on, 4 to 6 of the sides, depending on how much those little cut-ins help. But that's way better than a regular open-end that only does, 3 sides or so. So these work really, 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 really well, and they're well worth every penny. So I picked up a set of those for metric to add to the drawer, which we'll do right here, because you will see there is none in there. Yay! And now there is. Getting the box filled out. In fact, where was my... Yeah, see, this is my wire brush selection. You can see I got a couple of steels that are still got some life and one plastic, but I'm out of brass, so we'll fix that right now. Put the steel one there, a couple of brass ones. Throw the acid brushes in. Sounds good. I don't know where... Oh, there's the Dremel. We'll put all the buffing wheel stuff down in here with the Dremel. Take care of that. The electrical stuff for now will go right here. But so while I was there, they had this really cool set of pliers. I don't know if you guys have seen these before, but I had installed that stereo for my buddy the other day, and it's been so long since I've done any wiring, and I have so much wiring to do on the Cobra project. that stripping them out with the old manual strippers was just a pain in the butt. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never used manual wire strippers before, they're a total pain in the butt. Oh, let me get this open. I'll actually show you. That's not the door. Where are they at? Nope. I'll figure out where this stuff is eventually. There we go. In here. These are manual wire strippers. Like, you literally put it on the wire, and then you have to use force to just, like, to do that to the wire to get the insulation off. It's a total pain in the butt. And these are the crimpers down here. So you got to go in over the top of the wire because you can't cut through because of the spring and squeeze. And you can see they, like, don't quite line up anymore now that they've got some wear on them. I've had these forever. I mean, they just, they're a total pain in the butt. And I've picked up other ones, and, you know, they're supposed to be nicer. They have, like, ignition and stuff, too. And they're just, like, these ones don't have the spring, and they actually, like, hurt your wrist to squeeze. They're so tight. They're just not fun. And that's generally why I've been ignoring wiring until I found these. And I found these at the show, and they are wire stripper crimp, like, all in one. So you put the wire in this way, and as you start squeezing, you can see it cuts, it grips, and then it pulls and strips the insulation off, which is super, super, super cool. And then it's got a little crimper built in here in the bottom, which is super awesome to crimp easily with the little spring action. It makes it kind of easy to just like that. And because it doesn't have the spring down here, like, you don't have to go down over the top of the wire. You can just, like, literally sit down on the wire like that. But yeah, these were at the show for $20, and I was like, oh, that seems like a good deal. But on a whim, I used the Amazon app to scan this barcode here and pulled it up, and they were only $17 on Amazon on sale on that particular day. I don't know if they still are. The regular price was $35, but I added them to my cart and bought them while standing there holding the $20 version. So that was kind of cool. You know, be smart about your tool purchases and save some money where you can. Let me see. I'm going to put those wiring. Put these back. So the fuses can stay. I think I'm going to put these back in here. There we go. Let's get the box set up. Yeah. So anyways, that's everything. Oh, no, that's not everything I got for the engine box. I also got this, which is a wheel bolt pattern checker. So you put these probes here in the centers of the lug holes, and then, you know, you go 4 lug, 5 lug, 6 lug, and it will tell you where it is. So, for example, if we were to put this in this wheel for Project Porsche, now normally you would measure, like with a tape, 5 lug, you'd measure these two, and you'd go from the outside edge of this one to the center of this one. 5 lugs are weird. Everything else is center to center. But with this tool, it doesn't, like, get open enough to do it, so they want you to do it to the two closest, which is totally fine. Let's see if we can't get that in there. Okay, so now they're in there nicely, right? You pull this out, and you look at, oh, sorry about that. You look at the 5 lug side there. You follow it over, you see the little pointer is on 130. So they are a 5 by 130 bolt pattern. You know, the Mustang would be different. It's going to be harder because there's lug nuts on it, but you kind of get the general drift. If we stick it center to center there, it should say, yep, 5 on 4.5. See there on the bottom one? It has the 4.5. Because up here in the metric side, it's in no man's land. 5 on 4.5 is 114.3 millimeters. So that's where that one comes from. So yeah, that helps me measure the wheels, which worked out really nice because I actually found a super cool set of wheels that would have been awesome on the Mazda 5 project. Because I'm looking to change the wheels. The 18x9s are too wide and they scrape on everything. But I pulled this out and did it, and it was a 5 on 108. It was one of those weirdo newer Focuses, not the Mazda chassis ones. And it was like, ah. So I had this really awesome set of wheels that totally wouldn't have bolted to my car, so I'm glad I was able to check it with this. It was worth the money, and we've got so many different cars with so many different bolt patterns now. They literally all have a different bolt pattern. The Audi is different from the Porsche, is different from the Mustang, is different from the Bronco. I think the Mustang and the Mazda have the same bolt pattern, but obviously way different offsets. And yeah, so anyways, all those different bolt patterns, lots of wheels laying around in here, obviously, so it's important to have that tool. So I was super grateful to have that around. I am going to shove this one back in the automotive drawer, though. Stick that there for the next time I need to go look at a wheel. So that's going to do it for tools, but I did get one more thing, which might end up being the best purchase, and that was this. I know, it's a gumball machine. I got 2 kids. My partner has 2 kids, and we took all 4 of them to that swap meet, and it was fun, but, you know, it gets kind of old trying to parent all the time and stuff like that, and we were like, man, we need, like, some sort of a reward system. And we saw this, and the kids were, like, begging, like, oh my gosh, like, we want our own quarter machine, right? So we're going to fill this up with some sort of candy, and when the kids are good, they can earn a quarter, and then they can choose to use that quarter to come over and get some treats. So we're going to rehab this. It needs a clean out, and, you know, they put some duct tape in there to protect it and stuff. We're going to take it all apart and clean it up and make sure it works and all that stuff, and then we'll have us a little gumball machine. So, yeah, that'll do it for Garage Rehab.